It's time to see what Hal Jordan does to overcome his worst nightmare in Night Terror's Green Lantern Part 2. We pick up right where we left off with Parallax just beating down on Hal. And he's like, oh, maybe I should take a different form to just mess with you even more. And Hal is just like, what are you? Who are you? And this nightmare Parallax is like, I'm your worst nightmare. You're much more difficult to control, but I now have your worst nightmares and can absolutely destroy you. But wait, are you smiling right now? And Hal stands back up saying, you found the wrong person to try and scare. My friend Kilowog once told me fear is false evidence appearing real. Look, it's in my job description to overcome you. And Hal starts fighting back, throwing a mean punch at this nightmare Parallax. And the nightmare says, what are you? And Hal says, I'm Green Lantern, your worst nightmare. And then the nightmare tries running away, and Hal's like, bro, did he miss the memo of no evil shall escape my sight? But Hal actually gets teleported back deeper into his nightmare back at the ship crash, and to overcome it, he puts him on one of those carnival hammer strength test things and just rockets him off into oblivion. And then it says strongest man alive, and Hal's like, wow, eat your heart out, Clark. And he continues to chase the nightmare Parallax. And the Parallax tries fighting back, saying, no, Insomnia needs me. He wants me. I will defeat you. And Hal is like, look, no one can master my mind over me. That's what willpower is. And just completely starts lighting up Parallax, absolutely destroying him. And it takes him further into his nightmare back to the funeral scene. And he's like, all right, let's get this over with. And we see these zombie versions of his family members saying, come to me, Hal. And Hal's like, all right, you're not my family. And Hal gets a chainsaw saying, and you're really starting to make me mad, and starts chopping them all up. And Hal actually makes a little joke saying, all right, who's next? Aunt Lacey? I always hated your birthday presents. And he just finishes them all off. And then the nightmare comes back trying to scare Hal, and Hal is like, look, get out of my head. And he punches at it, completely destroying the nightmare and waking Hal back up in the real world. And he notices everybody is still knocked out, so he moves the pilot out of the seat so he can control the plane, and then land the plane safely, and then figure out what's going on with this whole Insomnia mess.